Taking apart the Delta Fusion 82 is relatively straightforward. Unscrew the cap and unscrew the barrel. Post the cap if absolutely necessary for easy maintenance storage. Take out the converter and note that some of the Delta converters are actually threaded, so before you start yanking on it, make sure you don't actually have to unscrew it. As you can see, this one is completely smooth and has no threads. The converter can be disassembled. Put the piston about halfway through, grab the metal part and the ink reservoir tightly, then unscrew this metal ring. Pull out the piston and the piston housing unit straightly, and by unscrewing it's possible to take out the entire piston. Apply a little bit of silicone grease around the seal and actually put a bit of silicone grease on the threads to ensure proper operation and smooth operation of the piston. The actual piston housing and turning knob require very little maintenance. Note how there are notches cut out on the ink reservoir, as can be seen here. These should align with the ridges on the piston housing unit, and as you can see when we zoom in a bit, not doing this makes it impossible for the converter to be assembled again. Then take the metal ring and put that back in place. If necessary or desired, put a little bit of silicone grease right there to make an extra tight seal that's airtight. As to the section, it's fairly easy to take apart. Put the nib on your finger and put your thumb on the actual feed. Then grab the feed and pull the two apart. It should be relatively easy. The feed and nib come apart and can be cleaned separately. As we zoom in, note how there is a very, very subtle bit right now on top of that black thing that's actually spared out a little bit deeper. That is for the nib. The other end is for the feed. Putting it back together is easy. Align the nib and feed about shoulder by shoulder, like this. Grab them between thumb and index finger and put them back in. Note that the nib should align with that wider part. If you cannot see it or are not sure how to do it, an easy trick is to just put nib and feed on there without applying too much pressure, and to gently rotate the section until it slides in place. As long as it does not slide in place easily, your alignment is not correct. As you see, it just slid in place. Nib and feed slide in all the way and are aligned properly. Then put the converter back in. When it's in place, take your barrel, screw it back in place and screw the cap back in place, and you're done. Have some haggis.